Hey, what is up, fam? If you are a first-time gun owner, or maybe you are just thinking about stepping onto the range for the first time, this list is for you. Seriously, throw out all the influencer hype and the tactical talk, because that stuff is just noise right now. Your mission is simple. Build solid fundamentals without getting discouraged, and definitely without blowing your budget on something complex or punishing. New shooters often make the same mistake. They buy the coolest-looking battle rifle, or the most intense, tiny micro-compact for concealment, and then they hate training because the recoil is brutal or the controls are too complicated. We're here to fix that. Learning firearms should be patient, safe, and honestly, fun. We focused on 9 platforms engineered for success, prioritizing intuitive controls, smooth recoil impulses, superior ergonomics, and training efficiency, meaning cheaper ammo or unbreakable reliability. Think of these as the firearms that build confidence, not fear. We're looking for gear that feels like a mentor, not a challenge. If it is too aggressive, too hard to strip down, or if the trigger makes you second-guess every shot, it is not on this list. Let us dive into the ultimate beginner's blueprint for setting up a lifetime of safe and enjoyable shooting. Zenith ZF-10. When we talk about the best platform for building fundamentals quickly, especially moving from static shooting to dynamic movement, the pistol caliber carbine, or PCC, is king. And the Zenith ZF-10, chambered in the forgiving 9mm, is hands down the softest shooting version of that iconic design you can find. For a beginner, felt recoil is the biggest barrier to learning fast follow-up shots. The roller-delayed action of the ZF-10 is the perfect solution. It slows the energy impulse down so dramatically that the recoil feels less like a harsh punch and more like a gentle, manageable push straight back into your shoulder. This weapon is also designed to be immediately usable. Forget needing adapters for optics or lights. The precision-welded top rail and MLOK handguard mean you can mount training gear exactly where you need it, easily. The controls are intuitive, mimicking the simple lever safety found on many platforms. A new shooter can focus entirely on sight picture and trigger control without fighting the gun. Furthermore, the 9mm caliber is one of the most affordable and widely available cartridges, meaning you can afford to run thousands of rounds of practice ammo without getting hit with massive training costs. For learning weapon manipulation, target transitions, and maintaining control under speed, the ZF-10 provides a smooth, reliable, and fundamentally sound introduction to long gun handling. It is smooth, iconic, and built right, making the learning curve feel like a gentle slope instead of a vertical climb. HKCC-9. If your goal is immediate, comfortable, and safe concealed carry, the HKCC-9 deserves serious consideration, especially for a new shooter concerned about the snappy, hard-to-control nature of micro-compacts. The genius of the CC9 lies in its deeply engineered focus on recoil mitigation, which is vital when you are just starting out. HK achieved this with an extremely low bore axis. The barrel sits very close to your hand. This means when the gun fires, the muzzle does not flip up aggressively. It pushes back more horizontally, keeping your sights on target much easier. Intuitive controls are key for beginners, and HK nailed the ambidextrous nature of the CC9. Both the slide release and the magazine release are genuinely easy to manipulate from either side, whether you are right or left-handed. This eliminates awkward movements under pressure and simplifies your loading and unloading drills. While some micro-compacts feel like a flimsy compromise, the CC9 is built like a service pistol that just went through the dryer. It gives you the confidence of German engineering and durability, so you do not have to worry about whether your gear can handle the thousands of rounds necessary to build proficiency. For the beginner looking for a serious, highly controllable carry option right out of the box, The CC9 offers the ultimate balance of size and shootability. You are investing in a platform that will not punish you during training. Smith & Wesson Ultimate Carry. For a first-time handgun purchase, especially for home defense or deep concealment, revolvers offer unparalleled mechanical simplicity and safety. There is no slide to rack and no complex manual of arms to learn. Just point and pull the trigger. The Smith & Wesson Ultimate Carry, particularly chambered in .32 H&R Magnum, is a game-changer for new shooters. Most beginners fear the heavy recoil associated with small-frame revolvers, but the .32 H&R Magnum caliber gives you 6 rounds of effective defensive capability with recoil that genuinely feels like a .22 long rifle. This allows new shooters to focus purely on trigger control and sight alignment without anticipating or flinching from the boom. The engineering updates on this model address the biggest flaws of older snub-noses. They replaced the useless trench sights with a massive U-notch rear and a pinned tritium front sight. This means you can actually acquire the target quickly and accurately, even in low light, a crucial factor for real-world defense. Furthermore, they removed the often maligned internal lock, simplifying the operation and improving reliability. The custom grips are designed to allow a high, firm hold, distributing the minimal recoil across your hand comfortably. If you are looking for a handgun that forces you to be deliberate, simple to check for safety, 6 clear holes in the cylinder ready to go, and easy on the hand and the wallet for initial practice, this snub nose eliminates the typical compromises. It is the one you carry because it works, simply and effectively. Ruger GP100. If you are starting out and plan to run thousands of rounds of ammunition through your new gun to master the basics, you need a training tool that is famously, almost comically, overbuilt. That is the Ruger GP100. For the new shooter, durability equals confidence and less downtime worrying about broken parts. The GP100 is the definition of strength, designed around a solid steel frame without the typical removable side plate found on older designs. This means it simply does not flex under pressure, no matter how much maximum pressure .357 Magnum you feed it. Crucially for training, the grip design is pure genius. Ruger uses a peg-style frame, which allows the new shooter to install rubber grips of any size or shape to perfectly fit their hand and cushion the recoil. Finding a comfortable, custom fit is essential for mitigating muzzle flip and developing a consistent grip right from the start. You can feed this gun high-volume, high-pressure practice rounds, and it just asks for more. Unlike more sensitive or delicate platforms that might require constant maintenance, the triple locking cylinder provides an extra layer of confidence in the mechanical safety and repeatability. For learning fundamental trigger control, sight picture, and responsible high-volume shooting, the GP100 is the benchmark. It is dependable, configurable for comfort, and unapologetically built to last through your entire training career. Taurus Deputy. While double-action revolvers are great, mastering the deliberate, clean pull of a single-action system is arguably the single best way for a new shooter to diagnose and correct trigger control errors. The Taurus Deputy, a traditional single-action revolver, is built specifically to force that deliberate process. Every shot requires you to manually cock the hammer, making you pause and refocus on sight alignment and grip before the next press. It takes the noise out of shooting and connects you directly to the mechanical soul of the firearm. This is not some finicky antique, though. Taurus made a crucial update for the modern beginner: the transfer bar safety system. Traditionally, single-action revolvers should only be loaded with 5 rounds, leaving the hammer resting on an empty chamber for safety. The Deputy's transfer bar allows you to safely load all 6 rounds. eliminating a potential complication and making it far safer for modern use, especially for someone unfamiliar with the historical rules of carry. Chambered in widely available and effective calibers like 35-7 Magnum or 45 Colt, the 5.5-inch barrel balances perfectly, turning the sharp snap of a Magnum round into a gentle, rolling push that is surprisingly comfortable. If you want to develop an accuracy foundation that will translate to every other platform you ever shoot, the Deputy forces precision, patience, and impeccable safety discipline. It makes you slow down and somehow shoot better because of it. Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. For the absolute beginner, prioritizing ultra-deep concealment and ease of use, the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0 is the misconception buster. Older micro-compacts were painful to shoot and only held a few rounds. This new striker-fired 380 ACP pistol changes the game, offering 12 rounds of defensive capacity in a package that weighs just 9.8 ounces unloaded. The 380 ACP caliber is notoriously easy on the hands compared to 9mm in tiny frames, meaning new shooters can practice follow-up shots comfortably without developing a severe flinch. A major feature for building early confidence is the flat-faced trigger. It breaks cleanly and consistently with minimal take-up. This is huge because one of the biggest challenges for new shooters is identifying when the break will happen. The predictable, crisp pull of the Bodyguard 2.0 removes that mystery, allowing the shooter to focus purely on keeping the sight steady during the press. Smith & Wesson also made the smart move of focusing on excellent iron sights over forcing a red dot onto the tiny slide, giving the beginner a tritium front sight and a blacked-out U-notch rear that is fast and snag-free. For the first-time carrier who needs maximum capacity in a minimum size, this pistol delivers reliability and comfort, proving that capacity does not have to mean bulk or excessive recoil. Walther PDP Pro E. While some manufacturers build stripped-down, inexpensive pistols for beginners, the Walther PDP Pro E is valuable for a different reason. It offers the best stock trigger on the market. For a new shooter, a superb trigger is the most effective cheat code for instant accuracy improvement. If the trigger is mushy or heavy, it reinforces bad habits by forcing the shooter to fight the gun off target during the press. The PDP Pro E's flat-faced performance duty trigger breaks at a crisp, duty-safe 4.5 pounds. But the key is the reset. It is incredibly short and tactile. When you practice, that short reset allows you to feel exactly when the pistol is ready to fire again, speeding up your follow-up shots naturally. This helps build the critical fundamental of shooting to the reset, without requiring an expensive aftermarket trigger job. Furthermore, the ergonomic grip features Walther's proprietary tetrahedron texture, which provides traction without shredding soft beginner hands or snagging clothes. A perfect balance of control and comfort. This is a duty-ready 9mm pistol with an 18-round capacity, meaning you spend less time reloading and more time training. Instead of buying a cheaper gun and spending hundreds of dollars fixing its trigger, the PDP Pro E gives you world-class mechanics right out of the box, ensuring that when your groups tighten, it is because of your practice, not spite for a bad trigger. Glock 49 Gen 5 MOS. When advising a beginner, the conversation must eventually turn to the platform that prioritizes reliability, simplicity, and global support. The Glock. The Glock 49 Gen 5 MOS is an excellent starting point because it combines easy shootability with a compact grip size necessary for comfortable carry. The 4.5-inch barrel offers a significantly longer sight radius, and more controllable muzzle flip than the compact Glocks, meaning new shooters have an easier time aligning the sights and getting back on target. That longer sight radius in particular helps beginners identify errors in their sight alignment more quickly. While the trigger receives critique from advanced users, its 5.5-pound weight and signature mush are intentionally consistent, which is a useful training tool for learning to press straight through a predictable, if heavy, pull. The real benefit for a beginner is the sheer simplicity and modularity. Glocks require minimal maintenance, are extremely resistant to training abuse, and possess the largest aftermarket support system on the planet. If you ever want to upgrade a sight, a holster, or grip components, the parts are cheap and everywhere. Law enforcement agencies rely on Glock because it works, simply and affordably. For the beginner prioritizing verifiable dependability over high-end features, the 49 provides a comfortable shooting experience, coupled with the rock-solid logistics and reliability that define the platform. Springfield Echelon. The biggest challenge for any new shooter is finding a firearm that feels like it was custom-built for their specific hand size. If the grip is too fat, too slick, or the controls are unreachable, the shooter will struggle with recoil control and consistency. The Springfield Echelon solves this problem immediately through its revolutionary central operating group modularity. Unlike competitors who just let you swap backstraps, the Echelon allows you to change the entire grip frame in seconds, allowing a beginner to experiment with different sizes and textures until they find the perfect ergonomic fit. This ability to instantly tune the gun to your hand is invaluable for building foundational confidence. The pistol ships with a 17-round flush capacity and weighs less than 24 ounces, balancing controllable weight with sufficient ammunition for training and defense. Its trigger breaks cleanly at 4.5 pounds, completely eliminating the spongy feel that plagued older Springfield striker guns. Critically, the variable interface system on the slide means you can mount almost any brand of optic directly without using unreliable adapter plates. This is a long-term benefit, ensuring that when the beginner is ready to transition to a red dot sight, the modern standard for defensive shooting, they can do so simply and efficiently, achieving the lowest possible sight picture for intuitive aiming. The Echelon is the modular concept perfected, giving the new shooter the flexibility to grow with the platform without ever needing to sell their original gun. All right, those are the 9 platforms built specifically to make your first years of shooting successful, safe, and stress-free. We cut through the noise and focused on comfort, simplicity, and efficient training. Now, here's the question for the new range crew. We covered several great calibers here: the easy-shooting 32 H&R Magnum, the comfortable 380 ACP, and the ubiquitous 9mm. If you were buying your very first handgun for defensive training, which caliber would you choose, strictly based on recoil management and training cost? Drop your pick below and tell us why. Keep it encouraging for the other new folks. We will see you next time.